Hello everyone. In today's session, we will discuss about functions in C, and basically we will discuss about user-defined functions. So let us start. So first we will discuss about what are functions. A function is a block of code that perform a specific task. It allows us to organize the code and avoid redundancy. In C, it is used to break a program into smaller number of units and manageable sections. Using this, we can use the code number of times. It also helps in clarity and maintainability. So functions are basically what these are basically block of code that is basically used to break down a problem into smaller number of units. So why use functions? So first of all, the question arises in our mind that why we use the functions. What is the basic reason? So there are various reasons the function helps us in. It helps in modular code. So first of all, we will know about the modular code. So modular code is basically a code that is basically used to divide a big particular problem into number of small sections where each particular section perform a specific task, a particular task, and that particular section is known as module. So it helps to organize a program into number of modules where each module is uh, specifically represented and it is used to perform a specific operations. The next one is reusability. The reusability concept tells us that it is the function once defined can be used number of times anywhere in the program. The next one is easy of maintenance. The easy of maintenance tells that the functions are designed in a way so that it is easily maintainable. The changes in one function do not reflect in another function. The next one is readability. Readability is why, because when we break down a problem into smaller number of sections, the program is more easier to understand and work with it. So next is, so first we will understand about what is the structure of a C function. The structure is basically how the function is actually organized, what is the naming convention, and what is the return type and various other aspects. Let us discuss one by one. The first thing is return type. The return type is actually the type of data type that is actually returned by the function. For example, a function can return any type of value. It can be int, float, void, double, etc. The next one is function name. The function name indicates the name of the function by which the function is actually referred and it is used to call. The next one is parameter. The parameters are basically optional that can be used to, these are also known as arguments, and these are used to pass with different values from one function to another function. The function can be with parameters or without parameters. The next one is function body. The function body is actually the content, actually the logic part, actually that what the function performs. The next one is return statement. The return statement is also optional part of the function. When a function want to return some value, then a function is the function's return type is mentioned as some data type. It can be int, float, void, etc. And when a function do not return anything, it is treated as void. Next. So what is function declaration and definition? These the two things are the more important concept in function creation. The first one is function declaration. It is also known as prototyping. It tells the compiler about the function return type, parameter before it is called or defined. It is just used to as a simply identifying that what are the different functions we are actually using in the program. So the return type include various things. The first one is return type. For example, in this particular example, the return type is int, the name of the function is add, and there are two parameters inside the function, that is a and b, and the type of parameters are int and int. So in short, declaration part is basically provided to simply tell the compiler about the function. The next one is definition. The definition part is actually the implementation part of the function, the logic part of the function, where a function actually performs different operations, how it actually works. So for example, in this the given example, the return type is int as given above, the name of the function is add, and there are two parameters a and b. What is the function actually doing? It is just doing a plus b, simply adding a and b and returning the value to the calling program. In this example, there is a simple function is displayed. For example, the hash include is given as the standard header file. And the next one is function declaration, where int is a return type, add is the name, and there are parameters a and b. The next one is the main function. Main is the main function in every program. It is exist. It is the entry point for any of the program. So in this main, there is a variable int result is declared, where add function is called with the value 5 and 7. When this function calls, then it jumps directly to the add function. At the bottom, there is int add a and b. So 5 and 7 is supplied in a and b, where 5 and 7 is added together. So 5 plus 7 is 12, and it is returned to the calling program, where it is returned in the result. And finally, the result is printed. So it is a simple function that is basically takes two arguments as a parameter and return the sum of the function. Next, we will understand about function return type. So what is basically function return type? As we have seen in the previous slides, that function return type is basically the type of value that a function actually return. So it can be void or it can be non-void. By the mean of void means a function do not return anything. When a function simply performs the operation but it does not return anything to the calling program, then it is declared as void. For example, void print message bracket, and inside this particular message print hello world is printed, and no particular operation is performed and no particular return statement exists. So we do not want to return any value. So in this case, the print message function is declared as void. So in short, when a function do not perform, do not actually want to return any value to the calling program, calling function, so the function is printed as void. And the next one is non-void. The non-void is actually when a function want to perform different calculation and you also want to return that particular value to the calling program, so the return type is mentioned. In this particular example, there is the function name multiply and there is return type int, where there is a and b is multiplied and the value a and b multiplied together is returned to the calling program. So we have mentioned the function return type as int. Next one. So next we will understand about parameters. So what are parameters actually? Parameters are the values which are in the function parentheses, which are provided to the function, and these are also called as argument. These are actually passed to the calling program. So what are the two types? There are two particular type, pass value and pass by reference. The function works with a copy of argument. In pass by value, only the copy of argument is supplied. So for example, in this print sum, void is as the return type as given previously, and a and b are as treated as the copy of the variable, copy of the argument, where sum a plus b is simply printed. So we are simply passing the value from one particular function to another particular function. So the next one is pass by reference. So pass by reference is basically it is performed by pointers. So it is also named as using pointers. It is actually used when we want to modify actual variables. For example, in this case of swap function, where a and b is treated as a pointer, and the a and b's copy is not actually passed, but the address of the variables is passed, where we actually refer the value of at that particular address, and we are doing the swapping in that particular variable using the addresses. So the changes refers to all. The next one is function call. Function can be called. What is the meaning of calling? Actually, calling means we are invoking a function. We are actually activating a function using a function. So using function call, we can call any function number of time, and it can be called from anywhere. So these can be of two types. One is call by value, another is call by reference. So call by value is basically when we call the function with the set of arguments with set of values. So for example, in this case, add 5 comma 3 is passed. So 5 and 3 are basically values which are supplied to the add function, and the result will be returned to the result. The next one is call by reference. Call by reference is basically when we call a function using pointers. The address of the argument is passed using the ampersand particular operator, and this actually supplies not only the copy of argument but the address of the argument, and using that it it performs global changes from one particular function to another function also. Then, in conclusion, the functions are essential for creating efficient, modular, and maintainable code. It also helps to avoid redundancy, reuse code, and organize complex logics into smaller, more understandable blocks. So basically, functions are very important part of the C programming, where all the particular things are organized in the form of functions. So in this way, we actually learn how a particular project, a particular module is developed in dividing various types, various particular sections, and we are able to manage different particular sections using simpler logic concepts, and in maintainable logic, and in a reusable code. So functions are great thing. So they helps in mastering the C programming. So in today's session, we have done user defined functions, and thank you for the listening. Thank you.